Good job, Chris. Happy birthday, my guy.
All in line. All in line. Damn, like what? Listen, the next time you get out here thinking about chasing any type of woman, period, just circle back to this video. This is Chris Brown, and this was all those women chasing one man. And all Chris Brown did was just be Chris Brown. He's not trying to be anybody he's not. He's just Chris Brown. He didn't go out of his way to get these women. They just threw themselves at Chris Brown. Listen, after these women paid Chris Brown $1,000 to take one picture with him, that should tell you everything you needed to know. It was women with boyfriends paying him $1,000 to take one picture, one measly picture. And y'all are still out here going out y'all way to try to, come on, man. We're gonna put like the women's slogan into the man's slogan. It's like this: if he wanted to, he would. Bro, listen, if she wanted to, she would.
You know, the older I got, the more desensitized I got to intimacy, and that's really sad. I remember when I was younger, I was like, man, this girl hugged me. She must really like me. I had to learn later on that girl doesn't like you just because she hugged you. Then it was, oh, she kissed me. She must really like me. I had to learn later on that just because she kissed you doesn't mean she liked you. For real like that. Oh, this girl went on a date with me. I had to learn just because that girl went on a date with you doesn't mean she likes you. It got all the way up till, oh, this girl's having sex with me. She must really like me. And it took for me to have sex with these women to realize just because she's having sex with you don't mean she like or care about you. It even got, which maybe this probably should have happened before the sex, but it got to the point where I would be spending the night laid up, cuddled up with a girl all night, multiple nights, spending the night over at Shorty's house, and we cuddled up, we falling asleep together. She's rubbing my head, and you know, I'm cuddling her, and I had to realize just because she's cuddled up with you and you spend the night at her place or she spend the night at yours and y'all are all cuddled up doesn't mean she likes you. And then I look back at all those situations and I'm just like, when did intimacy become so cheap? How am I laid up in your arms and you laid up in mine and you couldn't care less about me? How is it that we're cuddled up right now? And to me, I'm looking at this as building a relationship, but to you, you're looking at it as passing the time. How is my presence really not worth anything to you? How is it that when I look at you, I see a human being, someone with complex emotions and dreams and goals and all that stuff, but when you look at me as entertainment for the time being. It's like, it's gotten to the point where I'm afraid that when I find real love, I won't know what it looks like. And, you know, for all my people who don't believe in the Bible, you know, I get it. You might not want to hear this, but the older I got, the more I started to understand why the Bible was like, when you find a partner, you're supposed to stick to that one partner and you're not supposed to switch up on them. Like, it's supposed to be you and them forever. Because intimacy has been cheapened to a degree that is disgusting, honestly. It's hugs, cuddles, kisses mean nothing, and the most intimate act you can do with a person's sex is just a pastime now. I'm afraid that when I find real love, I won't believe it when I see it. I'll just think, oh, this person just, you know what I mean? I've even had this thought. It's gotten to the point where I feel like even on my wedding night, you know, God willing, that we'll have gone through the whole ceremony, got married, and I'll still be there like, yeah, but really though? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and it's a shame that I've been scarred this way to where I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know what I mean?
Hey, Shalom Akim. Shalom, Shalom, Lahab Akwayim. All right. Peace to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Yakwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. All right. So what sparked this lesson was those two videos. All right, those two videos that I just showed you. You know what I mean? And they both stood out to me as, you know, this is just a whole reflection overall of what we see in these latter days, you know what I'm saying? And it's also a foreshadowing of what's to come. You see what I'm saying? It's a foreshadowing, right? Now, I'm going to start off by mentioning the second video. All right, the second video with the brother with the he got the you know, he got the bonnet on and shit like that. All right. Which I guess that's his niche or something like that. But nevertheless, you know, he was talking some real shit. You know what I'm saying? The fact that relationships are not relationships anymore, you know what I'm saying? Connections, you know, aren't a thing anymore, right? And, you know, when he was reflecting on, you know, his past, pretty much it's a past that most of us can reflect on, you know, most of us can relate to, right? You know, we've all been there. We've all experienced this, and I can only I'm only speaking to you brothers right now. You know what I'm saying? You Akim, all right? You Akwath, you can take a seat on this one for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But I will touch on you for a little bit. But to you brothers, you know what I'm saying? You brothers who have experienced these things, you know what I'm saying, who've gone through the disappointments, all right, of relationships, and you've seen how women have changed over these many years. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you straight up, all right, I know how women used to be, you know what I'm saying, back when I was younger. And that was just like, what, maybe 20, 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 30 years ago. All right? Much different. But a lot of things have changed. You see what I'm saying? A lot of things have happened. And the philosophies of Esau, Edom have permeated in the minds of these women today. We call them modern day women. You know what I'm saying? Modern day women. All right. As a matter of fact, in you know, in the broad scheme of things, they don't really match the term woman at all, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a quick definition, let's go to the etymology of the word for woman. All right. As a matter of fact, let me get this on the phone so y'all can see it for yourselves. Bear with me. All right, this is the etymology of the word woman. Now, the word, the meaning of etymology is the study of a word or the truth of a word. You see what I'm saying? So the truth of the word of woman, this is how it's actually meant. You know what I'm saying? A woman is an adult female human. All right. From the late Old English, women, literally a woman, man, an alteration of earlier with men. All right. Woman, check this out. a female, all right, Salakia, a female servant, all right, a female servant. Now, if you tell that to a modern day woman, of course, it won't be received very well. You know what I'm saying? It won't be received well. But let's go into the basics. All right? Let's go to the basics. And let's hit verse. Let's go to Genesis. Let's see, Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, and let's start at verse 18. It says, "And the Lord power said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him." All right? A helpmeet. A female servant. You know what I'm saying? Gotta highlight that. A female servant. That's what it is. That's what a woman is. All right? But when you see so-called women today, they don't behave the way that they actually should behave. You see what I'm saying? And that's due to what? That's due to these curses that we're under. That's due to Esau's influence. Right? Let's go ahead to Deuteronomy. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's go to verse 56. Deuteronomy 28:56. It reads, "The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son and toward her daughter." All right. So what we see today is a complete overhaul of what the woman actually is. All right. And as you can understand how Edom works, all right, Esau pushes things that are adverse to what the Heavenly Father is. You see what I'm saying? He pushes things that are adverse to order, all right, was adverse to nature. You see? That's why we call them Satan, man, because Satan means an adversary. All right, Satan means adversary. And these Edomites are adverse to everything that the Lord stands for. You see what I'm saying? And what does the Lord stand for? Let's go back to Genesis. All right. And it's lucky my computer's running slow, so let me bear with me. All right. In Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16, it reads, "Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children." All right. You ask a woman what this means, and every woman can tell you exactly what that means, because most women experience this. All right. But then it says, "And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee." This is the part that Esau was able to manipulate. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you reach what we call the wall, you know what I'm saying? When you reach this point in your life all right, where you've lived your youth by squandering it. You know what I'm saying? You've done this and you've done that. These women have, they played the harlot. These women have abused themselves with overmuch liberty, as the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? When they reach certain ages, you know what I'm saying, their biology, which is the Lord's blueprint, starts to kick in. And then the regret sets in. And then they look around and they realize that they're getting older, and that the men who once gave them attention no longer give them attention, and all these different things. All right. There's a reason why the Lord gives them a biological clock the way he has. There's a reason for that. And this is a means to, shall I say, equalize what it is that they've been given at birth. All right. As you can see, you can hear all the time where men will say women are born with value just off their virginity alone. You see what I'm saying? This is why in the ancient world, your virginity was such a sacred thing. And it couldn't just be squandered the way you do it today. You see? They put a great emphasis on a woman's chastity. Right? So when you look at this biological clock, it lets them know by default that that time is ticking for them. You see what I'm saying? Once they start to pass the flower of their youth, which is where they bleed once a month, you know what I'm saying? Once that process starts in their puberty, that's when the biological clock begins. When that process no longer is possible for them, that means that biological clock has ended. And when you look at, the relationships that we see today, you know what I'm saying, or lack thereof, this is the shall I say, this is the result of what happens when you break out of that order. So let's go back to Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right. And women are constantly fighting against this order. You see what I'm saying? Because their main purpose is what? A female servant. You see what I'm saying? A female servant. This is why I always give salutations and shalom to you women out there who remain true to the faith and remain faithful and submissive to your husbands. You see what I'm saying? Remain submissive to the man in your life. This is the point. You see what I'm saying? But when that doesn't happen, you get what that man said in the video with the bonnet on. That, every time you enter into a relationship and you realize that you're here, but she's not here with you. You see what I'm saying? You're experiencing this, but she's not necessarily experiencing this with you. All right? And this is why the scriptures say, all right, who can find, all right, a virtuous woman? Let's go to Proverbs. Okay, Proverbs 31:10, it says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. All right. Her price is far above Ruby's, man. Let's go back. All right. Far above Ruby's. But this is an actual fact her role. All right. This is her true purpose. Even though the modern day woman doesn't want to admit that. All right. But when you get older, when you age out of the game, that's when you finally realize that it's the truth that you've been running away from all these years. You see what I'm saying? You may have children now. You may, you may have made foolish mistakes that landed you in some bad situations. All right. But this is the result of following this man's philosophy. It doesn't lead to life. It doesn't lead to life. Now I'm talking to you women, man. It don't lead to life. It leads to destruction. It leads to loneliness. It leads to a lack of fulfillment. You see? This is why the Lord has to change everything. He has to change all of this. Right? And, when it gets down to it, man, it's not just the men that's dealing with all this heartache. All right? But many of you women figure this out too late. Okay? You figure it out too late, man. This is why you're supposed to teach the younger generation before they make the same fuck ups. All right? But the Lord promised that he's gonna fix this. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna, bring about the healing, right? The scriptures say that he shall come with healing in his wings. Well, this is what we're waiting for, man. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah chapter 25, verse 8. He shall swallow up death in victory. And the Lord Yahweh power will wipe away all tears, right? Slack Yahweh power will wipe away tears from off all faces, okay? And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. For the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it, okay? So we're going to get that, we're going to get that relief. We're going to get that reset. We're going to get that restart, a fresh restart. You see what I'm saying? All right. We're going to get these new bodies. You women are going to have new bodies. You men are going to have new bodies. All right. Think of it as where you'll be, you'll literally be able to be a virgin again. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that within these new bodies. And the one you pair with, that's going to be the man that you live with, that you stay with for the rest of your life. All right. And we will be immortals. And the men are going to be completely different. The men, we're going to be on a high scale. Now this goes to the first video. Now we're jumping into the first video, where you saw all those women and they was following Chris Brown. All right. Well, the Israelite man in the times that's coming, all right, as the elder apostle Gabar says, all right, the Israelite man, the elect man specifically, is going to be the true high value man, as they call it. All right. And that's not going to be based off of, any bank accounts and nothing like that, man. Because money will mean nothing at that time. What's going to happen is that the men are going to have something that's intangible. The men are going to have something that you can't put a price on. You see what I'm saying? The men are going to have protection from the Heavenly Father himself. The men are going to have spiritual power. You see what I'm saying? And the people are going to notice this. You women are going to gravitate to this. You see what I'm saying? And for those of you who still don't understand what this precept means in Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, you'll understand it very soon. All right? Let's get that precept. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You see what I'm saying? The desperate nature of a woman is going to be heightened in the days that's coming, because it's going to be death everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Everywhere. What has given you women the ability to have astronomical pride and haughtiness, it has been feminism and it has been social media. And both of those things are going to simultaneously fall apart in the days that's coming. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to realize that. You see what I'm saying? All this talk of I'm the prize, I am the table, and this and that, that won't be the case ever again. And you're going to realize it. You're going to know that you're unprotected, and you're going to seek help. And when you see that man who's walking around, because we're going to be few in number. Trust me when I say few in number. You're going to run up to that man and you're going to be like, listen, I'll do whatever. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to buy me nothing. You don't need to take care of me and no nothing. You see what I'm saying? Just let me come with you. Let me be around you. Because you're going to realize that these men are being protected. Divine protection. The Lord's about to show some incredible miracles in the times that's ahead. You see what I'm saying? And you women are going to want to be a part of that. Then you'll understand what the true meaning of high value is. Let's go to Isaiah. All right. As a matter of fact, before I go there, let me finish off in Isaiah chapter 4. Isaiah chapter 4. Let's hit verse 2. It says, in that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. You see what I'm saying? This is speaking on the elect. All right. So Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12, it reads, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right. So the Lord is going to make the men shine in that day. The Lord is going to make the men the stars. You see? Right now in this era of social media, right now in this era where you can easily go and you can buy food from the grocery store, you can easily do this and do that. You can call yourself strong and independent now. You can call yourself the prize now. But very soon, the men are going to be the prize. And you're going to see why. And that ancient order is going to come back into play. And you women will have no other choice but to submit to it. You see what I'm saying? Right now, you think you have a choice. Right now, you got all the options that you got, all the options that you can ask for. You see what I'm saying? Off the simple fact that you're a woman. Right? But very soon, that's going to change. Very soon, everything is going to change. You have to understand that. All right. This is Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 14. It reads, For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. All right. And in that time, all right, everything's going to be turned right back around the way it's supposed to be, where the man is leading and the woman follows, where order is established, peace and prosperity is flourishing, man. You see what I'm saying? So you brothers, you know what I'm saying, keep your head up. Keep your head up, man. All right? And stay in the fight, because we ain't done yet. The Lord's about to magnify his men when he magnifies his son. You see what I'm saying? His son is going to bring the change that we need. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is going to bring the correction. Right? Isaiah chapter 62 verse 7. And give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, man. This is why we continue to do the work. This is why we keep sighing and crying. This is why we keep prophesying. You see what I'm saying? We're giving the Lord no rest. No rest. All right, no breaks. We keep going, man. Until what? Until he establishes. Until he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth, man. They say that to see how far a nation has fallen, you look at that nation's women. You see what I'm saying? The women of a nation is a barometer. All right. It lets people know just how close this nation is to falling apart. Because if the women are out of order, then that means the nation is weak. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to be under this perpetual rulership. And that means what for you women? That means that you women will be in order. And that's not something to be afraid of. Trust me. That's not something to be afraid of. That's something that you want to embrace. Right? You know, what you need to do when you're coming into this truth is break away from all the things that Esau's system has taught you. And I know that's easier said than done. Excuse me. But you don't have a lot of time to get it together. So get it together now, man. Right? I'm going to read this again in Isaiah chapter 25, verse 8. It reads, He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces, and rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth, for the Lord has spoken it. You know what I'm saying? The rebuke of his people, meaning we're not going to be at the bottom no more as a nation. All right? The rebuke of his people. We're not gonna be the ones that have to borrow and never lend. Okay? All the blessings from Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 14, that's going to be up on us, man. That's going to be up on us 1,000-fold. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakak, Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.